It's time to talk about snitches. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you may naturally think Quidditch. You can forget that analogy right now. A snitch in Apache Cassandra simply reports a node's rack and data center. Thus, snitches determine the topology of a cluster, that is, which nodes belong where. There are a few different types of snitches available to you, and you configure which one you want to use in the cassandra.yaml file. Here are the types of snitches you can use. The regular snitches are on the left, and the cloud-based snitches are on the right. The most popular snitch is the gossiping property file snitch, but let's look at each one in detail so you can determine which one's best for your situation. Simple snitch is the default. This is literally the code. Simple snitch does nothing fancy. When you set your nodes to use Simple Snitch, it places all nodes in Data Center 1 and Rack 1. Remember that racks and data centers are logical node assignments, which you will usually want to match to your real physical setup. Instead of having its values hard-coded like Simple Snitch, the property file snitch retrieves its data center and rack assignments from a local configuration file called cassandratopology.properties. Although this is more flexible than the Simple Snitch, you must maintain this configuration file on each node, and the files must be in sync. The gossiping property file snitch is the best of both worlds. You simply configure each node to its data center and rack individually, and then Gossip spreads this information through the cluster for you. Thus, you don't have to keep multiple files in sync across the cluster. You configure these settings in the Cassandra rackdc.properties file. The settings are straightforward, DC and rack. How you name your data centers and racks is up to you, and you will see this in the exercise for this section. The rack inferring snitch tries to infer the rack and data center from the node's IP address. Unless your IP addresses are clean enough to match the physical setup of your hardware, don't use this rack inferring snitch. Although the convenience of the snitch may look tempting, it's not as flexible as controlling the data center and rack assignments yourself. If you're operating in the cloud, you may want to check out the cloud-based snitches. We won't cover these in any detail here, but you can find more information in the documentation. The dynamic snitch comes for free and acts as a wrapper around the snitch you configure in your cassandra.yaml file. Its job is to monitor cluster health and performance. When a node needs to interact with other replica nodes, the dynamic snitch helps your node determine which replica node is currently performing the best. Thus, we don't further load sluggish nodes, and we can interface with the node that can best service our request. For further detail, examine the blog article linked at the bottom of the slide. Be sure all nodes in your cluster use the same snitch. Otherwise, your cluster will quickly get into an inconsistent state. If you find it necessary to change which snitch you're using, you must restart each node in the cluster. Once your cluster is back up, you must run repair and cleanup on all your nodes. And now it's time for another exercise. Let's try out your snitch knowledge.